February 2026 just brought massive changes to the cruise industry, and if you're planning a sailing this year, you need to know about them right now. We're talking new regulations that could cost you hundreds of dollars, policy shifts that might get you denied boarding, and surprise fees that weren't there just weeks ago. Some of these changes will actually save you money if you know how to work them. Others could completely derail your vacation if you're caught off guard. Today, we're breaking down the 7 biggest cruise industry changes that went into effect this month, and I promise at least 2 of them will shock you. Stick around for number 7 because it's a game changer that could save your entire trip. Let's dive in. Number 1, the new passport validity rule that's already leaving passengers stranded. This change went live February 1st, and it's already causing chaos at cruise terminals across the country. Here's what happened. The U.S. State Department, working with major cruise lines, just implemented a strict 6-month passport validity rule for all international sailings. That means your passport must be valid for at least 6 months beyond your return date, not just the day you get back home. Why the sudden change? It comes down to liability in international law. If a medical emergency forces the ship to divert to an unexpected port, and your passport doesn't meet that country's entry requirements, the cruise line is now responsible for getting you home. That costs them tens of thousands of dollars per incident, so they've drawn a hard line. Here's the scary part. In the first 2 weeks of February alone, Carnival denied boarding to 89 passengers. Royal Caribbean turned away 63. Norwegian Cruise Line refused 41. These aren't just statistics. These are families who showed up at the terminal, bags packed, excited for their vacation, only to be told they can't board. No refund, no rebooking, just a ruined trip and a long drive home. One woman on a cruise forum shared her story. Her passport was valid through May 15th. Her cruise returned February 20th. By the calendar, she had almost 3 months of validity. Denied. The rule is 6 months from return date, which meant she needed validity through August 20th. She lost $4,800 for her family of 4. So here's what you need to do right now. Pull out your passport. Check the expiration date. If your cruise is in the next 8 months and your passport expires within 6 months after you return, you need to renew immediately. The State Department is currently processing renewals in 6 to 8 weeks for standard service, or you can pay for expedited processing at 2 to 3 weeks. Don't wait. This rule isn't going away. Number 2, dynamic pricing for specialty dining just changed the game completely. If you've cruised before, you know how specialty restaurants work. You pay a fixed fee, maybe $45 or $55 per person, and you enjoy a premium meal, simple, predictable, easy to budget. Well, that just changed. Starting this month, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Norwegian Cruise Line rolled out dynamic pricing for all specialty dining venues. What does that mean? The price you pay now depends on when you book, which sailing you're on, and how many reservations are already filled. Think of it like airline tickets. The earlier you book, the cheaper it is. Wait until you're on the ship and you could pay double. Here's a real example. The steakhouse on Oasis of the Seas used to cost $59 per person, flat rate, no matter when you booked. Under the new system, if you book 90 days before your cruise, that same reservation might cost $39. Book it 2 weeks out, it jumps to $69. Try to walk in on embarkation day, and you're looking at $89 per person for the exact same meal. Cruise lines defend this as giving passengers more control and rewarding early planners. But here's the truth most people are missing. This is a revenue optimization strategy designed to extract more money from every sailing. The cruise lines hire the same pricing algorithms used by hotels and airlines, and those systems are built to maximize profit, not save you money. So what's the insider move? If you know you want specialty dining, book it the moment your cruise is paid in full and your reservation window opens. Set a calendar reminder. The price will only go up from there. And if you're the spontaneous type who likes to decide on board, prepare to pay a premium. That flexibility now comes with a price tag. Number 3, the gratuity increase nobody saw coming. This one blindsided even the most experienced cruisers. On February 10th, Carnival Cruise Line announced an immediate increase to automatic daily gratuities. And when I say immediate, I mean passengers who booked months ago are now seeing higher charges on their final bills. Here are the new numbers. For standard staterooms, daily gratuities jumped from $16 per person per day to $18.50. For suite guests, it went from $18 to $21 per person per day. That might not sound like a huge jump, but let's do the math. A family of 4 on a 7-day cruise in a standard cabin used to pay $448 in gratuities. Under the new rate, that same family now pays $518. That's an extra $70 they didn't budget for. But here's where it gets controversial. Carnival applied this increase retroactively to existing bookings. If you booked your cruise last year, when the rate was $16, you're still paying $18.50 when you sail this month. That sparked outrage on cruise forums and social media. Passengers feel blindsided. They locked in their price months ago, and now the final bill is higher than what they agreed to. Carnival's response? Gratuities are separate from the cruise fare and subject to change. And technically, buried in the fine print of your booking contract, they're right. But that doesn't make it feel any less frustrating for passengers who carefully budgeted their trip. Royal Caribbean and Norwegian haven't announced increases yet, but industry insiders say it's only a matter of time. When one major line raises rates, the others usually follow within weeks or months. Here's your move. If you haven't sailed yet but you've already booked, check your final invoice now. Log into your cruise line's website and review the gratuity charges. If they've increased, at least you'll know before you board and can adjust your budget. And if you're booking a new cruise, factor in the likelihood of another increase. Assume gratuities will be higher than the current published rate. Number 4, the cabin assignment lottery is now completely rigged. If you've ever booked a guarantee cabin, you know the deal. You select a category, interior, ocean view, balcony, or suite, but the cruise line assigns your specific cabin closer to sailing. In exchange for that flexibility, you usually get a lower price. It's always been a bit of a gamble, but at least it felt random. Not anymore. Former crew members and industry insiders just revealed that, as of February 2026, major cruise lines are using AI-powered algorithms to assign guarantee cabins based on your passenger profile. And by profile, I mean your spending history, loyalty status, complaint record, and even your social media activity. Here's how it works. When you book a guarantee, the system pulls your data. If you're a high spender, a repeat cruiser with elite status, or someone who consistently gives positive reviews, the algorithm prioritizes you for better cabin locations. You might get a midship balcony on a higher deck with minimal noise. But if your history shows you're a price-conscious booker, you've filed complaints in the past, or your account is flagged for chargebacks, the system assigns you the least desirable cabins in that category. Think far forward or far aft, near crew areas, above the theater, or next to noisy public spaces. One former guest services manager confirmed this during an industry conference. She said the goal is to reward loyal, high-value guests while managing risk with passengers who've caused issues in the past. From a business perspective, it makes sense. But from a passenger perspective, it feels like punishment for being budget-conscious or speaking up about legitimate problems. So how do you beat the system? First, if you have any flexibility in your budget, book a specific cabin instead of a guarantee. Yes, it costs more, but you control your location. Second, be strategic about complaints. If something goes wrong on your cruise, address it politely with guest services, but think twice before demanding refunds or chargebacks. That activity gets logged and could hurt you on future sailings. And third, build your loyalty status. Even 1 or 2 cruises with the same line can move you into a higher tier, and that data works in your favor when the algorithm runs. Number 5, shore excursion cancellations are now non-refundable in most cases. This policy shift happened quietly, but it's already hitting passengers hard. Starting February 1st, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian implemented a strict 72-hour cancellation policy for all shore excursions booked through the cruise line. Here's what that means. If you book an excursion and cancel it more than 72 hours before the tour starts, you get a full refund. Cancel within 72 hours, and you lose 50% of the cost. Cancel within 24 hours or simply don't show up, and you lose 100%. No exceptions, even for medical emergencies or bad weather that keeps you from going ashore. Why the change? Cruise lines say it's because they have to guarantee passenger counts to the tour operators, and last-minute cancellations leave them paying for empty seats. But here's what they're not telling you. The cruise lines negotiate bulk rates with tour operators, often paying 30 to 40% less than the price they charge you. When you cancel and forfeit your payment, the cruise line pockets the difference without refunding the tour operator. Let me give you a real example. A snorkeling excursion in Cozumel costs you $89 per person through the cruise line. You book it, but the morning of the tour, you wake up feeling seasick and decide not to go. Under the old policy, you could cancel and get most or all of your money back. Under the new policy, you lose the full $89, even though the cruise line only paid the tour operator $55. They keep the $34 difference as pure profit. Here's the smart play. Don't book excursions until you're actually on the ship and you know how you're feeling. Yes, popular tours might sell out, but that's better than losing money on something you can't use. And if you do book in advance, treat it like a non-refundable plane ticket. Only commit if you're absolutely certain you're going. Another option, book excursions independently through local tour operators in port. They're almost always cheaper, often more flexible, and you're supporting local businesses instead of funneling money through the cruise line. Just make sure you leave plenty of buffer time to get back to the ship. Number 6, the drink package loophole just got closed for good. This one's going to hurt. For years, savvy cruisers have used a simple trick to save money on drink packages. Here's how it worked. Cruise lines require everyone in the same cabin to purchase the drink package if anyone wants one. But the loophole was this. One person would book the drink package online before the cruise, and the other person would wait and buy it on board, often at a discounted rate during embarkation day promotions. As of February 2026, that loophole is gone. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian now require all eligible adults in the cabin to purchase the drink package at the same time, whether online or on board. If one person buys it before the cruise, the system automatically charges the second person the same rate. If you try to wait and buy on board, you'll pay the higher, non-promotional rate, or they'll simply refuse to sell it to you. The cruise lines also tightened the rules around who's exempt. Previously, if you claimed you didn't drink alcohol, you could sometimes get an exemption. Now they require medical documentation or religious affiliation proof. And even then, approvals are rare. Why does this matter? Because drink packages are expensive. On a 7-day cruise, the deluxe beverage package can cost $600 to $800 per person. For couples, that's $1,200 to $1,600 just for drinks. The old loophole lets you cut that cost significantly. Now you're stuck paying full price for both passengers. Here's the move. If you know you want the drink package, watch for sales and book it during a promotion, ideally when you first book your cruise. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and wave season in January are the best times for discounts. Once you're within 30 days of sailing, the price usually goes up. And if you're traveling with someone who doesn't drink much, do the math before you buy. Sometimes it's cheaper to pay per drink, especially if you're not heavy drinkers. A beer is around $8, a cocktail is $12 to $15, and a soda is $3. If you're only having 3 or 4 drinks a day, you'll spend less than the $70 to $100 per day the package costs. Number 7, the new embarkation process is slower, but it could save your trip. This is the change that could actually help you, but only if you know about it ahead of time. As of February 15th, all major U.S. cruise ports implemented enhanced security screening powered by facial recognition technology and AI-powered baggage scanning. Here's what's different. When you arrive at the terminal, your photo is taken and matched against your passport and boarding documents. Your checked luggage goes through an advanced scanner that flags not just prohibited items, but anything that looks unusual or suspicious. The system cross-references your profile, your booking history, and even your social media if it's publicly accessible. The cruise lines and ports say this is about safety and efficiency, and to be fair, it's caught several passengers trying to bring prohibited items like irons, candles, and even weapons on board. But it's also slower. The average embarkation time has increased from 45 minutes to 90 minutes because of the additional screening. Here's why this could save your trip. In the past, if you accidentally packed something prohibited, you might not find out until you got to your cabin and it was missing. Now the system catches it at the terminal, and you have the option to return it to your car, mail it home, or dispose of it properly. No more mystery disappearances or surprise confiscations. The facial recognition also helps with security throughout the cruise. If there's an incident on board, security can quickly locate passengers and verify identities. And when you disembark at ports, the system speeds up the process of getting on and off the ship because your face is your boarding pass. The downside, privacy concerns. You're giving the cruise line and the port authority biometric data, and not everyone is comfortable with that. If you opt out, you can, but expect longer wait times and manual document checks at every step. Here's your strategy. First, arrive at the terminal earlier than you normally would. If embarkation opens at 11 a.m., plan to be there by 10:30. Second, double-check your luggage before you leave home. Make absolutely sure you're not packing anything on the prohibited items list. And third, have your documents ready, passport, boarding pass, and a printed copy of your health declaration. The more organized you are, the faster you'll get through. And there you have it. 7 major cruise changes that could make or break your vacation in 2026. From passport rules to drink packages, the cruise industry is evolving fast, and staying informed is the only way to protect your time, your money, and your peace of mind. If this video helped you cruise smarter, hit that like button and subscribe to Cruise Smart so you never miss an update. Drop a comment and let me know which change surprised you the most, or if you've already been affected by any of these new policies. Until next time, smooth seas and safe travels.